Hi guys, welcome back to this week's Friday Facts. This week we're going to be talking about why rats bite. When I first started my channel, I got a lot of questions about this, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to make a video because there's so many reasons and so many, little things that could be reasons why, that I didn't want to give anybody wrong information. So it took me a while to decide if I really wanted to do this video or not, but I finally decided I will go ahead and do it. And this isn't going to be like a full list. There's always more reasons other than what I'm going to tell you, but these are some of the most common reasons. And if you have any other questions, or any of the things that I've said didn't fully explain maybe what was going on, you're welcome to leave me comments or send me a private message, and maybe I can help you a little bit more. But I just want to get, a general kind of list out there as to reasons why rats might bite. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the most common reasons why rats might bite is they could be sick. They could have a physical injury. My throat feels funny. Sorry if my voice sounds raspy. They could have a physical injury. They could have, they could have a respiratory infection. They could have something wrong with them that just makes them not feel well. I'm sure all of us know that when you're sick, you just sometimes don't want to be bothered, which is entirely possible. This isn't always the case. I've only been bitten once by a rat that was sick, and I think he actually had some kind of stroke or something, and something was wrong with him mentally, and I don't think he was, all there anymore. And I went to touch him. He had fallen over, and I went to help him, get up, and he actually did turn on and bite me. It was the only time in his entire life that he ever bit me. So I do believe it was related to that. Another common thing that rats might bite is because if they smell food on your hands, especially young babies that maybe aren't accustomed to you that much yet. Excuse me. They might be smelling food. They could also, if you use scented hand lotion or soap, they might be able to smell that. If so, try and eliminate anything after you eat. Make sure you wash your hands with unscented soap. Because they're going to smell that and they're going to think, oh God, that's food, let me eat that. And they may not intentionally be trying to hurt you. It just might be a natural reaction that something smells good, so let me try and eat it. Another common thing is if your rats are new. If you've just brought them home, I don't think that's a word. If you just bought them and brought them home, if they're young, they're not used to being in a new environment, they might bite you because they're scared. They might be like, oh man, this is a whole new environment. I mean, imagine if you were taken away from your mom as a kid and put somewhere new, and people are reaching in and trying to grab you that are like 500 times bigger than you. Of course you're going to be very scared, and you might try and bite to defend yourself. Another common one is your rats might smell another animal. Ignore my birds over here. You can hear them. I had to let them out because they were really screeching, but they're still making noise now. Just ignore them. But they might smell other animals, especially if you have cats. Cats are, enemies to rats. So they might be able to smell their cats on you. They might be able to smell your dogs on you. Again, this all comes back to making sure you wash your hands first. Or if they're in an environment, I keep my rats in my room, and if my dogs come in, if they can smell it, or my cats or whatever, that could upset them. It doesn't, but I mean, I'm just using them as an example. If they're in a location in your home where other pets might be wandering around, they might again be afraid, and they might bite out of fear. Another really big one is boys. This is where I get a little about talking about, rats biting when it comes to boys. I've had boys. I've had a total of 4 boys, I believe. And I did have a lot of issues with biting, and the reason I didn't want to bring this up in a video is because I didn't want to scare anybody away from having boys. I think I had a really, there's less chance of having males that bite. I think I just happened to get unlucky. I had a male rat who was mean. He would bite me, he would bite my other rats. He was just a grumpy man. And I ended up, it was right after I started, having rats at first, and I didn't have the money to care for him. I didn't have the money to get him neutered. I ended up giving him up to a local rescue. And they got him neutered. They worked with him, and he was a completely different rat after he was neutered. But it is very common, I don't want to say very common, but it's not uncommon for male rats to go through like a teenage phase where they get really aggressive, really hormonal, especially towards other male rats, and especially if you have females, which I had females at the time, because their hormones are just like, yes, girls, you know, and they see that other male possibly as a competition. But I really hesitate to talk about this because I don't want to steer anybody away from having boys as pets. Because I loved my boys, all of them. And once that one got neutered that I, you know, gave up, he was a fantastic rat. He had rat friends. He got along with, you know, people, rats, everybody once he was neutered. And if you have male rats that bite and you've tried and eliminated everything else from the possibility, it's very much possible that it could just be hormones, and it could be easily fixed with a neuter. And I know neutering is expensive. That was the reason I ended up giving up my rat, because I just couldn't afford it. So keep that in mind if you do get boys. It's possible, but I think, again, that I was an exception to the rule in this case, because I know lots of people on forums and stuff that all have males and never ever had a problem. So there you go. That's just a risk that you take. So that's a big one for boys. If you have any other questions regarding that, let me know, and I'll try and expand on that if you guys want me to. And again, with the boys, another reason is if they can smell female rats. Like, I've had boys and girls at the same time. I would just keep them in separate cages. Well, they might smell that girl and be like, oh, I want to get to it. And they'll do anything they can to get to it. And they could become testy and bitey. Another common one is if you have a rat that has red or ruby colored eyes. I've had black-eyed rats that look like they had black eyes, but they didn't. They had the red eyes. One of the big ways you can tell is either shine a light in their eye or take a picture, and if it reflects back red, then you know you have a red-eyed rat. Obviously, the albino rats have the red eyes, but they don't see as well. I might try and find this video that I found at one point a long time ago, this webpage that had how rats see and how red-eyed rats see from their perspective, how blurry it is, because they really don't see well at all. And they might, sometimes they'll be a little bit more bitey only because they might not be able to see as well, or you might startle them or whatever, and they just react. I've never had this happen. I've had them kind of like turn around and act like they were going to bite, but then once they realized it was me, they didn't. So just keep that in mind when you have red-eyed rats, not to startle them or to remember that, you know, they're not seeing you as clearly as their black-eyed, you know, relatives. Another big one, I think I mentioned this in a Quick Tip Tuesday, is Band-Aids. Rats, I've never met a rat that will not bite you if you have a Band-Aid on your hand. So please be careful with that. I have no idea what it is. I don't know if it's the adhesive. I don't know what it is about Band-Aids. But everybody that I know, if you have a Band-Aid, either take it off or don't handle your rats, because they will bite you. Every single rat I own will bite a Band-Aid, and they'll bite hard, and I do not understand what the attraction is there, but there you go. Another big one that I want to talk about, I'm hoping that the other reason I want to do this video is because it's just going to be so long, and I can't really go in too much in depth on each thing, but the other big one that I want to talk about is cage aggression. Now, this can be both males and females. Basically what it is for some reason they become very protective of their cage. They don't want you to reach into their cage. They don't, you know, I don't really know what the cause is. I've never really had this personally, other than that one rat that I had that didn't like me. He didn't like me at all, and I could not reach in his cage without him lunging at me. I don't know what causes this. I don't know even, you know, I really just don't know. Other than, I know a lot of people who rats have gotten to the point where they have to train them to jump into a basket to get them out of their cage. I'm not 100% sure what to do to go about, you know, trying to make that better. That was the other reason I didn't really want to do this video, because it's so hard for me to give advice on what to do about a rat biting when I'm not there to see what they're doing. And you can describe it to me in a million words in detail, and it's still so hard because, you know, you learn about rats' body language and stuff like that. And I didn't want to give anybody wrong advice on this. So, I mean, I will try and help anybody that needs help if they would like me to, but try and keep in mind that I'm not there and I'm not seeing what you're seeing. And I mean, you can try and take videos or something if you want me to try and help you that way if you need help. But it's so hard for me to give advice on stuff like that when I'm not there seeing the full interaction and what's going on in the environment and stuff. So, but I still want to do this video though, because I get so many questions about rats biting and stuff that I really didn't want to just leave it open. So I wanted to kind of touch on that and kind of give you just some general ideas of why rats might be biting. Again, you know, you can leave me questions or send me messages or whatever if you want more help, but man, my voice is not lasting very good here. So yeah, I also did update my blog last night. Yay, I know I'm terrible at that. Check it out though for me, guys. I think the reason I'm not doing it very much is because I feel like nobody's reading it. So if you are reading my blog, go ahead and head over and leave me some comments over there, because I would love to know if anyone's actually reading it. Because if not, I mean, I don't want to just keep doing it and then for nothing, you know what I mean? So go ahead and head over there if you'd like. There's some good information over there. So, yeah, I'm going to head off here, and I will try to have a video up for you Tuesday. I actually have an idea for one of next week's videos. I think I might do a Q&A video, question and answer. So we'll see what I decide about doing that. So I think that's about it, and I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye, guys.